Hey friends, Lucian here with the Bullish Bears team, making the watch list video for tomorrow, Friday, September 1st. So just to go up here with the scan, again, I tweak it a little bit here and there, but stocks between 30 cents and $10, minimum of 300,000 volume on the day with a gain of a minimum of 4%. That's tweakable. I kind of switch it a little bit, but basically you want stocks that had some volume, had some gains on the day, and that are ideally holding their highs. I have a minimum of 100 million or a maximum of 100 million shares. That's kind of like the version of float. You don't have to put something there if you don't want. I kind of put it there so that just that way, you know, it's a little bit, stocks much more over a million or 100 million can kind of move a little bit slower. So I just try to scale it down a little bit just for stocks that might move on a breakout. So we're basically looking for stocks that held their highs for the day to either get a breakout on the daily tomorrow, let's say, or ones that are overextended for a potential short. So I'm going to start showing you, I've been showing you some on longs lately, some entries and stuff, but you want to start looking at, I'm going to start showing some on the short side as well. Shorting is not as complicated as people think. To be honest with you, I really like shorting. I actually tend to be more short bias than long bias, but I'm trying to get myself to become more into longing as well, just to get a healthy balance of both so I can help not only myself out, but help you guys out when I'm showing and teaching you guys, so you can kind of see both sides of things. So again, my watch list videos are going to be a little bit longer just because I'm going to just start mapping out areas of support and resistance, and also showing you guys how to set up alerts. It's so important to set up alerts in whatever platform you use. This right here is ThinkorSwim. But alerts are super important because when spots are hitting certain breakout levels to either go higher, or when they're falling to certain levels to either short, they're really important to get alerted. And you want to set alerts like a few cents before that trigger hits, so that way you get a chance to get ready for potential entry. So I'm going to start showing that stuff more and more in the videos as I do them here. But as you can see here, here's a 5-minute 2-day chart, as well as the daily. And basically, I'm looking for stocks that held their highs on the day, and then also might be at key breakout levels, and then mapping out the areas of support and resistance. So I'm going to go over here and start with PYDS. Now, PYDS had a really great day. It held its highs on the day. So basically, what you want to also see the next day, for a stock, if it's going to continue to go up, you want to see it break the high of day from the previous day. So this is today. So if the stock is going to move up tomorrow, number one, you want to see it break this high of day of 240 tomorrow. And you'll see, why didn't it draw the line over here? Oh, there is a line over there. Okay, perfect. So you can see here, that's the high of this candlestick, right? So for it to continue to go up, you want to see it break the high of day today, and then you got to go to the left and see the areas of resistance that are in its way. So you can see 245 is an area of potential resistance. Then this really key one right here of 265 is a big deal. So now an area of support would be right down here, first level right here, 223. And then you can kind of go right down to basically $2. So basically, you're going to those peak wick levels of candlesticks. So you want to see this one break 240, whatever this 240 is tomorrow. Then be aware of this one right here at 245-ish. And then this one at 267. If this thing breaks 267, this thing could break out, but then be aware again at basically this $3 marker. So setting an alert on this one might be a little bit tricky. See, I'm not really, let me see, this one at 246. I'm really concerned more about that one at 260 something. So I would sacrifice a little bit on this one because it could potentially pull back. So I'm going to set an alert. And all you want to do, so I want to set an alert a few cents above this candlestick here, that 265. I'll set one maybe around 260, maybe around 259. So all I did is I right-clicked, click alert, and then you just put right here, at or above whatever the price, or if it's falling, at or below. So I'm putting at or above 259. So that's something that tomorrow, If this thing moves above there, that might be a chance for a nice breakout. Now, if this one, see 223 there, I would say I'd put one right here, maybe I'm going to put one at 223 for at or a below. Now you can't short with with ThinkorSwim this stock, but I also have Interactive Broker, so this one might be one that's available to potentially short. So that's what I'm doing. I'm putting a mark at or above, and this one right here, let me make sure I did that right, at or below. So basically, if the stock goes and it breaks above 259, it's going to send me an alert right up here on my screen, and also a text alert to my phone that says, hey, this is breaking this key resistance level. So at that point, that might be one to think about an entry and maybe riding it up towards the $3 level, looking at, you know, resistance levels along the way. But if price falls and it starts heading down, this might naturally want to head back towards that $2 range, and then, you know, probably right on this 174 area as well if it started to fall. So if it started to fall, this is one where you can short. This is a big long candlestick, so this is either going to go and move up, or it might be a short. Sometimes it'll pull back before it goes up as well. So that's all I'm really doing. Stocks that held their highs and looking to see if I'm going to continue them on the way up or potentially short them depending on what's happening. So PYDS I'm going to put on the watch list. ECEZ. Actually, let me go to a couple other ones right here because I don't know if they're... which one was it from today? Oh, I'm going to go to a couple other ones. I don't know if they're on the watch list. I don't want to forget them. MGTI. See, this is one I totally missed today. I had it and I just totally looked away. It was at yearly highs. It went and broke a little bit, and then look what it did. It was so overextended. It fell right down, right to that 13 EMA line. It's not by accident that happened. This 13 moving average is incredibly important. So this is the 13 and the 50 on the daily. This blue is a 13 EMA, and the red is a 50 on the 5-minute chart. And you'll see price just really obeys that 13 EMA marker. It's a nice trend. So basically, you want to see this thing now. You know, this could be a little bit more difficult to trade because you don't know what direction it's going to go. But you can tell, obviously, on the year, it's got to go up and break 4,626 for it to go up. But now I look, this one's a little bit trickier to trade. I'd look maybe below, I'd probably look below this 285, but maybe below that 13 EMA. So we could trade in a range in there. It's a little bit messy. So that was one that was pretty crazy today. WNDW, I think, was the other one. This is another one. Look at this one as well. Almost very similar to that one. Broke out again, broke to new yearly highs, and what did it do? Fell right back down, and you'll see right at that 416.15 marker is support. So it kind of fell below it, right down to $4. Buyers came back in and brought it right to that support line, closed right above support. So now you want to see with this one right here, is the stock going to fall below 415 and head down to the potentially the 13 EMA below $4, or is it going to continue up? Normally, I would have marked this out before today, but this one's a little bit crazy right now, so I'm not going to really look at that. But those are two instances of just huge breakouts and major patterns. You can call this a big double bottom if you want. And there was a breakout right above the neckline, broke above one day, went up again on the second day, and smacked right back down to support. Buyers came back in. So either the buyers are going to come and continue this further, or it's going to fall. But when a stock's like this, it gets a little bit crazy because these are long candlesticks, and it can get messy and choppy in between there. So back to the watch list. ECEZ. That's just a mess of a chart. Don't like it. VII. Another one just kind of messy. Look at these choppy candlesticks. Went all the way up today, and then it smacked, and what did it do? Once it got all the way up here, you can see super overextended. It moves right back down to that 13 EMA, bounces around a little bit, and then it either continues up or falls. And in this one, it just fell. And with, you know, shorting this, you can, I mean, this wasn't really the greatest short, but you can see starts to bear flag here. So this is like a long stick candlestick down, starts bear flagging here, and then it kind of falls again. So it's kind of like a bull flag, and then it starts turning into a bear flag. That's not really the best pattern. It's kind of choppy looking, but not putting that on the watch list. QTNT. So this one right here, it is holding its highs. Not the greatest volume, but it is over. It did close above the 13 EMA, which is really good, this trend line. It's a possible trend reversal. So now you want to see this break above 394, which is the high of day today. But ideally, you'd like to see it break $4 for it to potentially go up. If it breaks $4, then you start looking at right here, you know, I would look probably around that 450 marker, whole and half dollar amounts. So with this one, I'm going to put it on the watch list, but I'm going to set my alert. Yeah, I'll actually set it a little bit, maybe around 396 for an alert to potentially go and break a whole dollar amount, that $4, and potentially go up. So obviously you want to look at level 2 and time in sales if you were to get in on something, but basically this will trigger if it goes and break, gives me a heads up, you know, that the stock might break and getting close to a whole dollar amount, alerts me, then I look and I find my entry. You can either use the 1 minute or the 2 minute to get in. You could do the 1 minute with the 9 and the 20 EMA, or the 2 minute with the 13 EMA and the 50 simple moving average. Again, I've been liking the 2 minute lately, just something I've been liking. So that's where you find your entry, and then you look at level 2 and time of sales, and then see, you know, take your scalps. And you know what I like about the 13 EMA on the 2 minute, which is nice, is you can kind of use it as a good gauge. When something breaks a certain level, you can kind of ride it until it breaks the 13 EMA. This is a choppy one to look at, but if a stock breaks at a certain level, you can kind of ride that 13 EMA, and then when it breaks, you can get out. Sometimes, a lot of times, there'll be false breakouts, but it's, I don't know. I kind of like it a little bit better than the 1 minute, but it's just my preference. The 1 minute could be a little bit crazy because, you know, a stock can pull right back to that 9 and then drop right down to the 20. And the 13 EMA, I kind of like it because it's somewhere in between the 9 and the 20. So again, it's just all a matter of preference. But QTNT, I will put on the watch list. And again, you know, this is something you just don't know. It might fall at 397, 398, but if it breaks above $4, I'll have this on my watch list. I'll look at it. It'll trigger an alert. I also do this as well, where I have like a screen like this. So I'll pick my, you know, some stocks from like the watch list tonight, and then some from Trade Ideas in the morning, and then I'll have these alerts. So when the stock moves up or down to a certain level and it triggers one of these, I'll see it gone, but I'll usually see it on the way up. So I'll see when stock's getting close to one of those alerts, and I can switch over to potentially trade it. But if I miss it or I'm distracted, if one of them is gone, it'll alert me and I can see it's missing off my screen. So that's kind of how I do it. And then I also have ones on my watch list over here that I'll scroll between because you miss them. The idea is not to be trading a ton during the day. It's picking, you know, 1, maybe 2 key trades, make your profit, get out. Because come 9 or 11:30, pretty much it's kind of dying down for the day. So, okay, yeah, go to MARA. Kind of choppy. That's really choppy. I don't like that one. TRCH. So this one, this one's kind of interesting. It's holding its highs for the day. It's right at this level. I want to see it get above that 150 marker. It is holding its highs. If it could break this, get over that 200 SMA at 140, it could potentially go. Then you got to worry about the 150. So ideally you want to see it break 150. So I'm going to put it on the watch list, and I'm going to put it at like maybe this 145 marker. And so what I also do is at the end of the day, I'll go in and I'll cancel the alerts. So whatever alerts I have that are set up for today and tomorrow, I'll cancel the alerts and set new ones. I've been realizing recently that I've had a whole bunch of other ones that were set up previously. So when you're trying to look for targeted alerts and then you get like 20 at one time, that could really throw you into a tailspin. So basically at the end of each day, I'll cancel the alerts and set new ones. So if this one doesn't trigger tomorrow, I'll cancel it and then just see whatever ones are happening or coming up for the next watch list. But you can see this is kind of like a nice inverse head and shoulders. Left shoulder, head, right shoulder, the neckline. So if this breaks that 138, that could be a nice breakout again, but then I would worry about this area here, the one, actually I would say 150. I want to see it break that $0.50 amount. So that's where I'm putting it. You could set it up a little bit earlier here if you wanted to get a quick scalp, but I want to see it break a $0.50 amount. So TRCH I'll put on the watch list as a potential breakout. But, you know, if it breaks 140, you know, it might go up to 150 before it pulls back or sells off. That's a nice 10-cent profit. Again, so that could be a decent scalp. NLNK. So this looks like a good one right here. So you want to see this one. Look at that. If you zoom in here, this is the base of a gap. So you see here, usually they say the saying all gaps must be filled. Now it's just a matter of when they're going to fill. Once it gets to this key level here, that's a really big deal. You want to see it break above that and go into the gap. Who knows if it will, but I kind of marked that red because that's a big deal. If it breaks above that marker, then you want to see it. You know, that could go into the gap. It's above the moving averages. So that's one to definitely keep an eye on. I really like NLNK. Doesn't mean it's going to break, but I want to see it break into that 820. And you can see there's not much of anything after hours, but price did go up into it. So I'm going to put an alert for maybe I'll put it like 818. And I'm going to put that one on my targeted watch list to really watch. NLNK. And so now, if it doesn't break that level, then I want to see if it's going to fall. Let me see what would be the 823. You know, I might put it around this $0.50. You know, somewhere halfway in between this candlestick here. Maybe I'd put it around. I'll put around 756. Just like kind of half of this green candlestick. It's a $0.50 amount. So either want to see the price break above the 820 and go up into the gap, or see if it's going to fall back down, you know, halfway down here and see where it goes from there. So NLNK will definitely go on the watch list. And that's definitely, when that breaks, if it doesn't happen tomorrow, whenever it does, that's a big deal. And that could really potentially go into the gap. So that's one to absolutely keep an eye on. And set an alert for even down the road if it doesn't happen tomorrow. IMNP. Wow, that one really went up. Came right down. Look at that. Spiked all the way up. Smacked right back down. But see, perfect example. The further away it gets from the 13 EMA, it wants to drop back down to it. Price, you want to always pay attention what happens to the 13 EMA on the daily and then also intraday on the 2 or the 5 minute chart. Let me just put it back to the 5 minute for right now. It just price wants to just naturally gravitate back to it. Shows when it's the further away it's overextended, it kind of pulls back. So I'm not putting that one on the watch list. SLNO, don't like it. FALC. So this is a potential bull flag. It's a wedge. It's kind of wedged. It's a bull flag on the daily. But you know, you can see it's pulled back at that 45-cent marker a couple times. You have the 40, the 200 SMA in the way at 40 cents. So 36 to 40 cents. I don't really love that one. I don't like the odds of that one, so I'm not going to put it on the watch list. Sorry guys, I must have paused the video and didn't realize I've I missed some of these. Now I'm back, so I apologize for pausing. I guess I didn't resume it. So these are the ones I just added recently here. I apologize because I don't know where I left off. So this is where I'm at so far, down here. So I just put SN on the watch list. What I put here was I want to see price break above that 13 EMA right here. It's right around that, what is this marker here? Right around that 450 $half amount. I want to see it break above. If it breaks above, it could go to $5 potentially. Then I would, look to potentially sell before them. You got to watch level 2 time and sales, see what's actually happening. But you'll see this is just riding the 13 EMA. See what happens. Further it gets away, wants to pull back towards the 13 EMA. Further away it goes up, wants to pull back down. Goes up, comes back down. And if you find ones that are trending on the day, you can just really ride that 13 EMA on the way up, and then when it starts to break, get out. So down here, for instance, if you got in when it broke high day here at 412, you could have rode this all the way up until it closed, right here. If you technically got out here, that'd be 430. That's 28 cents. So really that's the theory behind it. If you can stay in and you can ride it a little bit longer, that 13 EMA is just a very great point of reference trending for the stock. BKS, ooh, that's kind of messy. See, I want to see, okay, so look at that, right after, close to after hours, right at 790. I want to see that thing break $8. So actually this marker right here. So this is really interesting, and it's no coincidence. This is a head and shoulders pattern. Here's a head, left shoulder, right shoulder. This 790, this marker right here, this 789 marker, is exactly the top of the left and the right shoulder. If this falls back down, then that's obviously it's a bearish signal. But if this breaks above this 790, this could be a bullish sign, and then you want to see it might be one to potentially go long on, and it breaks the pattern. But this is a perfect left shoulder, right shoulder, or left shoulder, head, right shoulder. Perfect. And then you want to see if it's going to break above that 790 or if it's going to fall, yeah, really no coincidence, right down to maybe the 750-ish marker. So I will put a marker there, and I'm going to put an alert at that maybe I'll put it at like 787 or 778 or something like that. $787. So that will go on the watch list. BKS. BBG. Don't like it. It's starting to roll over. AUPH. Let me see on that one. I already pulled back 664. It's right at the $half amount. Yeah, I don't love that one. ANTH. Don't like it. ARLZ. So this is, that one's interesting. Flagging up. It's right at that 50. So you want to see it get above that 50 SMA, right at that 126.27 marker. And then it could, go up. I would put another one right around that 150 marker. So I will put that one on the watch. It doesn't look very good though. I don't really like the look of it, so I'm not going to put it on the watch list. GALE, don't like it. HTBX, don't like it. Let me go back to the ARLZ. I'm going to change my mind. I'm going to put that on the watch list. I don't really love the pattern of it, but If it breaks above, it could have a chance to run. Or do I like it? Yeah, it is forming. Yeah, I do like it. It's creating higher lows. Yeah, I do like it. I'm going to put it on there. HTBX, no. BPMX, don't like it. MRNS, Man, look at that. 312. This thing's been all over the place lately. I want to see it break that 325. I don't know if I'm going to put that on the watch list. I don't like it. MEET. So this one potentially, I'm going to put on the watch list. Well, number one, you want to see it break 397. I'm going to put an alert there at 397. If it breaks that, then it could potentially run, you know, right all the way up to the top of the gap here, right around that 453. That thing could potentially have a decent run on it. Might be a breakout, but obviously you want to see it break above $4. If it breaks above $4, it could potentially run. So I will put that on the watch list. And GNMK, don't like it. MRIN, don't like it. CIE, don't like it. SPPI, don't like it. Wow, that would have been a if you could have kept. So if you caught it up here, you can maybe have caught a decent short on the top, right around that whole dollar amount, $9.93, close to $10, and then you can see it starts fading below the 13 EMA. So Neon, don't like it. NOG, don't like it. MNGA, nope. CLD, nope. LRTTF, no. All right, so that's the watch list for tomorrow. Sorry I missed a few plays. I must have paused the video and I didn't come back, so sorry about that. So that's really it. Again, looking for stocks that hold their highs to either potentially take them on the way up or to short them, depending on where the stocks are at. You want to always look at this 13 EMA, especially on the daily. See how far away the stock price action is from the 13 EMA. It naturally just wants to gravitate towards it. The further away above it is, the easier it is. If you can find the top, you short it towards the 13 EMA. Again, it's not always going to fall back down, but the way stocks are, if it's super far away, that's where you short it down, and then you look at the first line of defense, the 13 EMA, then VWAP. If price starts to fall, then you want to see it. If it starts to fall, you want to see as it goes back to the 13 EMA, is it going to go and break above the 13 EMA or continue to fall? So that's really kind of the strategy of it, and just setting your alerts. Being aware, having multiple, if you can have multiple charts on the screen, that's ideal. But if you can't, just have these your watch list with the alerts, and then when something triggers, go into the alert you can see on your phone, or go into the alerts over here. As you can see, I cleared a whole bunch. These should be cleared tomorrow. Let me see which ones are active. These are the ones that are active right now. So this is what I'll be watching tomorrow. If 1 or 2 or 3 or 4 activate, then I can pull them up on the charts and then pick my entries. So that's really the strategy and how I do things. Again, if you are not, if you haven't liked our fan page yet, make sure you come and like it over here. Like and follow us on Facebook, Bullish Bears. That's our name. This is our fan page. We post pre-market movers for trade ideas on there every morning. So you want to take our watch list that we do at night here, as well as the pre-market movers, and do the same thing. Look at stocks that have price action in the morning, and then compare it to the daily, and then see where a potential breakout is. On the daily, and see where price action is in the pre-market, and see, and just do the same thing, create alerts that way when it's getting closer to you know, a top in the pre-market, that might be a breakout on the daily. Set your alerts, and that's it. You know, and you know, sometimes the stock, a lot of times, you know, again, the best traders will only succeed 60% of the time, 65% of the time. So failure is part of the game. You are going to take losses. It's impossible to win every time, but the key is making sure that your losses are minimal. Cut your losses. That's the easiest. That's the best advice I can give you. Cut your losses as quick as possible if the trade goes against you. So again, like our fan page, follow us to make sure you get our when we post the watch list and any updates, as well as make sure when you're over on our website, if you haven't gone over there, make sure you subscribe to our watch list. We send it out every night over here, so you can subscribe right over here, as well as join our trade room. We're about to break 500 members in our trade room. Currently, we're offering our trade room for free, which is really unheard of to have that many members. Just to give you an example, most trade rooms cost about $100 a month elsewhere, and we're giving ours for free. So if you do the math, 500 members times 100 a month is $50,000 a month that we're giving up in potential income right now, which is absurd. Most people think we're crazy, and sometimes we think we're crazy as well. But we're trying something different. You know, we are a contribution-based community right now, which means we don't charge our members for everything that we offer. We ideally would like to keep it this way. There's no promise of that. The more obviously people donate to us, the more likely that we'll keep things donation-based. You know, Tim, Dan, and I, we have a passion for giving back, and we really would love to ideally keep everything that we have here basically on a donation-based service. So basically, you would choose what you'd like to contribute. If you don't want to give us $100 a month and you want to give us $10 a month, we'll take it. But you know, we need everybody in our community giving at least a little bit for us to stay with this model, because it gets increasingly difficult to give up that amount of money every month that we could be charging. So if you're, you know, in our community, you don't have much money, you're on a budget, that's okay. We have monthly options for as low as $10 a month, $25 a month. So if you'd like to give back, again, our trade room alone, you know, cost $100 a month minimum elsewhere. Never mind our courses. We have courses over here. There are at least a couple $1,000s worth of value right there. So we're saving you from having to purchase courses, as well as when we post trade ideas. Trade ideas is $100 a month. We're giving you guys the watch list every day doing that for free, as well as these watch list videos and the watch list in general we're not charging for. So all of this stuff really adds up that we could charge, you know, at least $150 a month for everything that we're offering. But we're doing everything for free because we want to try this model out. We want to see if this donation-based model will work, but it's going to take everybody contributing at least a little bit. So if everybody donates a little bit, then we can continue this trend moving forward. If not, we'll have to charge down the road. So it's basically in everybody's hands whether they'd like to contribute or not. So long story short, if you'd like to contribute, you can subscribe down here monthly, $10, $25, $50, $100 a month, whatever you'd like to contribute. We'd appreciate it. We also have single donation options over here. As well as, last but not least, make sure you subscribe to our YouTube channel, which is blowing up lately. We're getting well over 1,000 people every 28 days now, which is just insane. Make sure you take advantage of all the content that we offer. Like our videos, share them, and feel free to comment with any questions. So hopefully this video helped you guys. Sorry it got cut off, but again, happy trading, and we'll see you tomorrow. Enjoy.